of the wonderful things he does. Okay, let's get started then. Hello everyone, so welcome back to my channel. I decided that today I'm going to do another book video, and then hopefully coming up, I've been bullet journaling this year, so I'd like to do a video where I show what I do in my bullet journal and discuss kind of what supplies I use and things, so I'll probably look out for that. I'll be doing something along those lines, and also in 2.5, 3 weeks, me and my friend are going to go to Inverness and maybe Loch Ness for the weekend, so I'm going to make a video that, like, vloggy type thing from that. So those are the videos I have planned coming up. Plans in general in the future, I'm going to VidCon in Amsterdam in April, so I'm super excited about that, but I also get to spend 6 days in the Netherlands, and then I go to Spain for 9 days, and then I go to Portugal, so hopefully I'll get to vlog a lot of that. Anyway, so today I probably shouldn't be doing a video because I have an exam on Thursday. It's Monday night at like 11 p.m. I was at diving today, and I probably sound stuffed up because I always just inhale so much chlorine and water while I'm diving. And I have class at 9 a.m. tomorrow, so I should probably just go to bed. Don't worry, I'm not going to edit this video tonight, so it won't take me that long. So, in my last book review video, I talked about the books that I read during Christmas vacation, and I talked about what books I'm reading coming up. And one of them was The Magicians, and I just finished it. I'm like one chapter into the second book, which is called The Magician King. But anyway, so I kind of wanted to discuss The Magicians because I know a lot of people have read this. There's was it HBO or Stars or Sci-Fi? Sci-Fi made a series out of The Magicians. I've watched the first episode, but I stopped myself because I wanted to read the book first. And, wow, I have a lot of feelings about this book, which is why I wanted to make the video. My first feeling is why? How did we get here to this point? Okay, there's going to be spoilers in this video. We started in New York City. We went to upstate New York to a magically protected school, and we graduated from that school. We returned to New York, screwed our lives up, and then we went to a magical land. But to get to that magical land, we had to go to another magical land. And then once we were in the magical land, our girlfriend died. And wow, so much happened. It's really mind-blowing to me. So that was the thing. I feel like a year of my life passed reading this book, and it took me about 2 weeks to read, just because so much happened, and it covered a long period of time. I wasn't expecting it. It doesn't follow like the normal plot line of a book, like here's your problem, here's your solution. There's so much going on, and I guess there's a lot to be said for, like, a lot to be read in the next book, but it was not the direction I was expecting at all. It had so many elements, I feel like, that come from other books, like that whole thing with the pools and traveling to other lands. Like, I'm pretty sure that's in a Narnia book, in the, like, prequel to the Narnia books. I'm pretty sure that they travel through water, and they go into a place with all these lakes, which isn't the same thing, because they travel through a city that has, like, fountains. But traveling to different dimensions through water, that definitely wasn't Narnia. Also, like, wizarding school, thank you. That's another, in probably a few other, and, like, did this book just have all of the elements of, like, a fantasy sci-fi book that you could shove into one book? Talking animals, other dimensions to get to your other dimensions, magic, weird dynamics. Okay. This blew my mind. there was so much. There's so much to think about. Honestly, I'm going to keep this book, and I'm going to come back to it, and I'm going to read it again after I've read the rest of the series, and I'm going to try to make sense of it. And then I'll watch the TV series and try to make sense of that. But so much happened. That being said, I really liked the book. And there's one thing that stood out to me about this book, and that is he made the characters so authentic. Because you have these kids who have grown up to the age of 18 or whatever in the normal, like, in what our world is, and then they discover this new world. Like, obviously their reactions are going to be similar to what my reaction would be if I was in that situation. So, like, that to me was so real. Like, the relationships that they formed, and just, like, their responses to things that happened, like, how much they swore, and, like, how much they drank and did drugs, and the sex, like, it was just so real to me, because, like, if I put myself in that situation, and I was totally honest with myself, I would think, yeah, maybe I would turn out to be, like, or to do what a lot of these kids did. And I think he did that really well. But my biggest hang up on the book is that so much happened. There were so many characters, the plot was so complex. But I do think, like, okay, this book has, 400 and something pages. Almost 500 pages. He accomplished so much in 500 pages. And, okay, maybe there was some, like, character development, compromisation and whatnot, but a lot done. And I feel like I read 8 books, but I only read 1. So, yeah, I don't know what to think. Okay, I'm going to end this video here but I just wanted to say, this book blew my mind. There was so much process, still processing it, finished it a week ago, still processing. But I want to know if anyone else read this book, what are their thoughts, and yeah, I want to analyze this book. So let's do a little book club in the comments. If you have thoughts on this book, if you've read it, I want to hear them, and I will respond to them. And also leave for me in the comments what types of videos you would like to see coming up. I'm going to do the ones that I talked about in the beginning of the video, but if you have any other ideas, if you want to do a Q&A, leave some comments. And I hope to see you all again soon.